right, so I grew up Christian. I don't follow that. I don't follow the religion anymore, but I grew up Christian. So a lot of these narratives that come around revolving Christianity, I find them to be completely fascinating. And, we'll see if you do too. This is a thread from Donnie Darkened. All right. So he says, 1 year ago, I said that we would see the UFO narrative unfold very soon. They are preparing the world for the invasion of Jesus Christ and his armies at the second coming, who they will likely say is an alien threat, which is why Donald Trump, the beast, created the Space Force. All right. So, right, right. Okay. So, in the news last week or the week before, I forget, but I was showing you the symbolism from the Space Force and um, how esoteric the meanings are. In fact, why don't we just
Guys, we've got to talk about these Space Force logos. Are you kidding me? Here's number 13, lucky number 13. Revelation 13 talks about a beast rising from the sea. So we got Moloch coming out of the hole in the earth, probably the sea. Let's keep looking. We got the bear from Daniel 7, obviously. He's got a key. Bottomless pit? Probably. We got number 5, fifth seal. I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Yeah, I guess the bear's got the key though. Let's keep going. Ooh, number 4, Illuminati eyeball. We got 2 lightning bolts. This is not Unit 666, believe it or not. Let's actually look at Unit 6 right now. Yeah, a 6-headed dragon. Making a 6, with 6s all over the place. And a hexagon, yeah. Yes, magic number 11. Pentagram with crosshairs, is that a building? Interesting about Roman numeral 11, if you flip it upside down, it's a 9. Let's look at that. Whoa, looks quite a bit different from this angle, doesn't it? So here's a 9 over here. We got an upside down pentagram now. And that kind of doesn't look like a building anymore. It kind of looks like a pit. Is that a bottomless pit? Because you see the concave over here? Huh. Is that something coming out of a bottomless pit? Revelation 9:11?
Okay, so crazy Space Force symbolism, right? So, according to Donnie, Trump is the beast and he created Space Force to fight Jesus Christ when they return, and it's calling them aliens. Listen, questionable, right? Let's go through the thread. On December 8, 2020, a former Israeli space security chief said that we have been in contact with extraterrestrials from the Galactic Federation and that Donald Trump was aware of the extraterrestrials' existence and had been on the verge of revealing the information. And here's the headline to back it up. Former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. All right. This official Space Force hat was sold on Donald Trump's website in November 2019. When inverted, it mirrors the image of the Baphomet. Yeah, and we've talked about this on the news too. That's crazy, right? That can't be an accident, can it? The Antichrist is prophesied to wage war against the heavenly host led by Jesus Christ. Trump's family crest shows what seems to be the spear of destiny piercing through the Zion cube, a reference to New Jerusalem, 1 Kings 6:20. How many of y'all know your family crest? It's crazy, right? And I think that we're taking note of the fact that we have these, oh man, what are they called again? I want to say Aztecs, but they're not Aztecs. They're something. And he's got chevrons. Are they called chevrons? And he's got 2 of them in his family shield. So the interesting thing about this symbolism is that every sort of space force globally uses it, and that's, I think, why they have it pictured here like this, because we have it from all over the world, and they all use that same symbol. And why is that? Interesting, right? Okay. The entire point of the Space Force is for the beast, Donald Trump, to wage war against Christ and his armies at the second coming. These Space Force emblems show warriors preparing for battle with the words, "Our time has come." All right. Okay. Interesting that they have these old timey warriors for the Space Force, right? Interesting. Space Force 18, which serves as the National Space Intelligence Center, was launched 6/24/22 or 666. Ooh, damn. Ooh, okay. Didn't know that. This was on June 23rd. He says, tomorrow the Space Force will open Space Delta 18, which will serve as the National Space Intelligence Center. It is also the day when the moon will join the rare 5 planetary alignment that started on June 5th, the day Trump turned exactly 666 hours old. Wow. Okay. So if I go down this thread here, the planetary alignment began the day before 6/6/2022. On this day, Bill Gates turned 66 years and 222 days old. There's another 666. George W. Bush turned 911 months old. What? Okay, I'm not a numbers guy, but what? Obama turned 200, I mean, Obama turned 22,222 days old. It is also it is also 22 months and 2 days before the 2024 eclipse. The day before equals 666 in Jewish gematria. So 5 planets to line up in rare planetary conjunction. Keep in mind that Donald Trump, the beast, created the Space Force to prepare for the invasion of Jesus Christ and his army at the second coming, who they will likely say is an alien threat. So according to Donnie Darkened, they're not aliens. It's Christ that's coming back, and Trump is setting up to fight them. Okay. I mean, what do you guys think so far? Is this out there or what? I find this stuff fascinating. Trump's coat of arms bears his hand holding a weapon ascending through the gate to the cube. Okay, right? Remember that heaven is a cube per Revelation 21:22 and 1 Kings 6:20. The beast will literally garner the forces of earth to launch an assault through the firmament to reach heaven. Right here, we say that the Holy of Holies, New Jerusalem, comes to earth, Revelation 21:22. The tree is restored to its proper place in the Holy of Holies. The holy city is described as a cube that's fitting the dimensions. So, make of that what you will. The beast will also blaspheme the cube, New Jerusalem, and those who dwell in it. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. Revelation 13:6. At the end of the 7 years, the second coming of Christ occurs, and Jesus descends with the armies of heaven arrayed in fine linen on white horses, and the Antichrist with his army will be defeated at the Armageddon. It is very hard to deny that they are preparing for the end times 7-year tribulation, New World Order, as well as the final battle between the beast and Jesus Christ, Armageddon. Of course, Christ will utterly annihilate the beast and his armies and cast him and the false prophet into the lake of fire. But be warned, all of those who follow the beast will also meet their fate in the lake. Do not allow yourself to be deceived. Another interesting thing to note is that Donald Trump's West Palm Beach estate, Mar-a-Lago, literally translates to sea to lake. Interestingly enough, the beast rises out of the sea and ends up at the lake of fire. This is a Time cover magazine of Trump rising from the sea. I want to have the Jaws music playing in the background, right? Everything is coming together perfectly for the destruction of the current order and the rebirth of a new world order. But fear not, for this means that we are very soon to the appointed time of Christ's return. Rejoice, the end. Huh. Okay. This is, I'm not the one who chose Christ to be the Antichrist. I'm sorry. I'm not the one who chose Trump to be the Antichrist. God did that, my friend. That's kind of funny. You think Trump makes a better Antichrist than Obama? Who is the false prophet? What makes an Antichrist? The Antichrist wants to subject you to his will. He doesn't want to give you power and freedom. We clearly see who is pushing for control here, and it's not Trump. Donnie Darkened replies, the Antichrist deception is not about power and control. It is about spiritual deception, my friend. Satan already is the God of this world, according to 2 Corinthians. Right. Okay. That's true, right, Christians? Right? Accordingly, right? So that means everything is supposed to be like, tainted in this realm if he's the God of this world, right? Most people cannot fathom that the deep state and Trump rivalry is nothing more than a Hegelian dialectic ritual. There is the Great Reset, New World Order, darkness, and the Great Awakening, New World Order, false light. This is the Masonic darkness to light. Trump is the false savior. Okay. I mean, I could go into this thread too, but well, let's just watch this.
I started to realize there were two New World Orders, the real one, the one that Alice Bailey talked about, and the counterfeit one that New Agers and conspiracy theorists focus on. And they are revealing this counterfeit New World Order right along with Luciferian messages of human unity, oneness, and higher consciousness, always. And the message is, look, they're enslaving us, they're stealing our power, they're keeping us from realizing who we really are, from realizing that we're all one, they're stunting our creative energy, all that. And just to be clear, like I've said before, this counterfeit New World Order is real, just like a counterfeit $100 bill is physically real. It all has to be real for this plan to work, and that's the point. And it's the fact that it is very real that is giving all these New Age conspiracy theorists real power and validity, and it's giving power and validity to their message, to their prescription about how to deal with the problem. And that's why this deception is going to be so powerful. People in growing numbers are researching this stuff, realizing that it's real, and then they go to people like Jones and Ike for advice on what to do, and they tell people to unite, to resist it, to realize you're a powerful conscious being. Ike tells people to let go of religion because it's one of the tools of control. Jones tells people all of us of every religion have to unite and stand up against these people. This is going to be a masterfully deceptive trick. A fake, phony New World Order is going to rise and then going to be purposefully allowed to be defeated so that the real New World Order can finally be implemented. A good way to think about this is, think about an evil person who wants to trick you into trusting them. How would they do that? Well, they certainly couldn't just walk up to you and demand your trust. That would instantly make you suspicious of them. And they certainly couldn't show their true colors or reveal their real intentions. They would have to trick you into giving them your trust all on your own. They could not make it look like they were making you trust them or forcing you to trust them, because then that's not real trust. And a perfect way to pull this off would be to stage an attack on you. Send someone after you, have them attack you, and then they come in and rescue you from the attacker. That evil person has now gotten you to trust them by making themselves look like a hero to you, by saving you.
All right, so there's that, right? Okay, now back to the original thread. Here's a thread of other interesting symbolism displayed on the emblems of the Space Force units. Okay, the Space Force was formed under the direction of Donald Trump. This is the emblem of the Peterson-Schreiber Garrison of the United States Space Force, which happens to depict Hydra and 666 coding. The emblem of Space System Command Delta 45, which appears to depict the Masonic dark to light symbolism, which is heavily tied to Trump and the Great Awakening. Okay, right? Emblem of Space Delta 3's 16th Electromagnetic Warfare Squadron, depicting a serpent, specifically a cobra. 23rd Space Operations Squadron, which appears to depict the Grim Reaper, although could actually represent Satan himself. Talk your talk, Donnie. All right, remember that this occurred last month, 666. Okay, this was on July 22nd. He said, this happened just 2 days ago. Will we see this UFO narrative? We will see the UFO narrative. We will see this UFO narrative unfold very soon. Just in, the U.S. Department of Defense opens new office about unidentified anomalous phenomena across space, air, and maritime domains. All right. I mean, it's a whole different question as to whether or not they're from another planet or whether they've been here the whole time and all that stuff. Agatha says Trump didn't create Space Force. He just made it public. It's been around for a long time. And Donnie Darkened replies, the Department of Defense was directed to launch the Space Force by Donald Trump in 2019, being founded on December 20th. And there you go. Yeah. So, Freemasonry square and compass, right? With the 666. Okay. All right. Well, brilliant catch, brother. Okay. All right. So the question, what do you guys think? Is Donald Trump the beast? Huh? Turns out there's a little bit more to the story that I just found as soon as I stopped recording the last one. So this is going to be part 2 to that one. All right. So check it out. This was actually dropped on July 21st from Donnie Darkened. I'll leave a link to both of these in the description. Okay. 6 days ago, Donald Trump was given a Torah crown by the Israel Heritage Foundation. Their mission statement is to await King David's descendant, our Mashiach, to rule over the land and bring peace to all nations. All right. Ooh, okay. So now we getting serious. Donnie's done his research. Check this out.
Okay. Give thanks to Hashem, for his work is good, his kindness endures forever. Presented to President Donald J. Trump for his extraordinary and heroic efforts. I like that very much. To help the state of Israel and the Jewish people. He and his family should be blessed eternally from the Israel Heritage Foundation, July 10th, 2023. I want to thank you.
Here is their mission statement available on their website. And as you can see, the Jewish nation long awaits King David's descendant, our Mashiach, to rule over the land again and bring peace unto our nations. There you go. Rabbi Yosef Berger, who oversees the tomb of King David, is attempting to link Trump's genealogy to David's in order to prepare the way for Messiah. This will establish Trump as a candidate for the Mashiach. Rabbi links President Trump to King David, says he's preparing way for Messiah. Right. What? I didn't even know all this was going on. Rabbi Aryeh Deri said Trump's election heralds the coming of Messiah. Now, many may be thinking, how could Trump be the Jewish Messiah if he's not Jewish? The answer is King Cyrus. Okay, here's the headline, right? In February 2018, an Israeli organization, the Mikdash Educational Center, minted a temple coin bearing the image of Donald Trump alongside King Cyrus, a Persian king whom the Jews referred to as Messiah, though he was a Gentile. Okay, now I didn't even know they had coins. Okay, so let's keep it cracking, right? King Cyrus conquered Babylon, which freed the Jews, allowing them to return home to build the second temple. The back of the Trump temple coin is, of course, the third temple. Recommend watching this clip. Okay, interesting clip. Check this out.
Cyrus is the ancient king of Persia who conquered Babylon, where the Jews were living in captivity. Now, Cyrus didn't do it for the Jews, he did it for Persia, his country. But it had the happy side effect of allowing the Jews to return home to Israel. So Cyrus, you see, is an unwitting conduit, a vessel for God's will. But nothing in the Bible says he was the antithesis of what the Jews believed in, the way Trump is the antithesis of what Christians are supposed to believe.
And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie.
Do you believe you're the second coming of God?
that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
Actually, the pause there was a little bit longer.
The chapter in the Bible that mentions Cyrus is Isaiah 45, and Trump is the 45th president.
Mr. President, you gave me the dragon energy when you shook my hand on Sunday at your rally, and it doesn't matter if King Kong was in front of me, I was not going to lose after getting to shake your hand.
To Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden to subdue nations before him.
It is with these original powers that I will create a new world order.
And I will loose the loins of kings to open before him the two-leaved gates, and the gates shall not be shut.
America first. A new world order.
On January 26, 2020, Lev Parnas and others told Trump that according to Jewish gematria, his name equals the same numbers as Messiah, 424. This is an interesting conversation. All right. Let's peep out the combo.
Subject. I have a little something. It's a little present. The head rabbi of Ukraine. They want you to mail and some of the rabbis in Israel. They want everybody at this table. Thankful for what you do. Understand the cost of it because they're inefficient. In the Hebrew religion, they wait for the Messiah to come. Wow. So the Messiah, Moshe ben David, if you take their name, written, you see where it adds up, 424. If you take your name, Donald Trump, and then Israel, it adds up to 424. It's something that is very unbelievable. What does that mean?
It's like you have the same numbers than my Messiah, you know.
Meaning good, right?
Yeah, it's like not good. It's like best. It's like miracle.
Why 424? Why is it?
It's like name of Messiah. You know?
That's his name, Messiah. The Messiah comes out to 424. What are the numbers you got? No, it's not the number.
It's exactly the number.
Your name, and the numbers, it adds up to his name. It's 424 in the Jewish. So it's like Messiah is the person that's come to save the whole world. So it's like you're the savior being that's for you a blessing.
It's amazing. We just thought we're like, wow. It's amazing, you know?
It can't hurt.
So, all Jew people of Ukraine, they're praying of you, you know? They're like...
Show it to Jared, he'll explain.
The very day before, January 25th, Trump would become the first sitting president to touch Israel's holiest site, the Western Wall. In an absolute coincidence, the time hits 424, the exact moment Trump touches the wall. What? Okay. All right. Questionable, right? We got questions. Ooh. Here's a song by the Jerusalem Boys Choir called Super Trump. The song praises Trump as Jerusalem's champion and protector from their enemies. It's unfortunately quite catchy. Wow. Wow. You getting me the lyrics?
If the whole world stand against us and only Micronesia is rooting for us. When the stars of Ishmael are Marlene, don't you
even doing a boy band style. So, Trump recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel on the nation's 70th year anniversary since its founding. He was born 700 days before the founding of Israel. Trump was inaugurated when he was 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days old. The coin reading to fulfill 70 years. Okay, right? Here's a list of everything Israel has named after Trump in his honor for those interested. The list hasn't been updated in a while either. Yeah, this list is crazy. Trump Square, New Jerusalem traffic circle honors Trump's embassy move. Number 9, Jerusalem, a square in Central City in the city of Petah Tikva will be named after President Donald Trump. Trump could initiate building of the third temple as head of Edom, number 19. Number 25, peace to prosperity, Trump peace deal released. So, yeah, this is not all things that are named after him, but it's quite a list of sort of Jewish Israeli accomplishments, isn't there? So, Donnie says, What's also interesting is I'm seeing more and more Christians compare Trump to messianic figures like David, Moses, and even Christ himself. I believe the great delusion is taking place, the falling away is Satan's true end game. Remember that Satan does not need to fool unbelievers. They're already living in rebellion to him. Sorry, I'm not laughing at him, but listen, just tell me what y'all think. I don't I don't want to keep injecting what I think into it because I like to hear what you guys think and all that. But truth be told, I think that religion was a military operation. So I'm not really reading this like I'm buying it, but I'm reading it like it's interesting and it's fascinating. All right, so I ain't trying to scare nobody. All right, so remember that Satan does not need to fool unbelievers. That's what triggered me, I guess. They're already living in rebellion to him. He wishes to deceive the Christian world and religious Jews and to persecute all who do not follow his false light champion, the beast. The final deception was meant for us. He goes on to say, one thing Trump has touted has been the deal of the century, which is creating peace in the Middle East. Trump has been attempting to be the peace negotiator between Israel and Palestine for 40 years. He has also touted world peace. Okay. You may ask, because I know you were asking it too. He's good at this, right? Why would the Antichrist want to bring peace to the world? Because the beast and his kingdom are a complete counterfeit of Christ and his millennial kingdom. Micah 4 speaks about Christ bringing the world peace during the millennial reign. Now, again, not to interject too much, but these translations are shite. So people don't really even understand what some of this stuff is saying. And to take it literally, just, you can't. You just, not in my opinion, you just can't. All right. So of course, the beast will also, you know what? This is a great chance. Before I go on, this is a great opportunity for me to illustrate what I'm talking about as far as translations go. All right.
Hey there. Do you want to hear a version of the Lord's Prayer that is translated from Aramaic to English rather than the traditional and typical one, which is translated from Aramaic to Greek to Latin and then to English? Okay, let's do it. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out a space within us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear the fruit of your mission. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance with our desire. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that bind us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which would divert us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of our present moment. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth, power, and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. And so it is. There you go.
All right. Now, when you hear that compared to the Lord's Prayer, the way that most Christians say it, it's a night and day. The difference is like crazy. It's like, what are you talking about? They're two different prayers, right? So apply that to the rest of the text, if you will, right? And so, yeah, taking it literally, these translations, missing books, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm not into it in that way. The literal translations. That is not to say that this Bible is not one of the most important works that you can possibly have in your home. That reading it does not. Reading it does make you smarter. There are good things. There's a lot of information and esoteric knowledge in the Bible hidden within it. There's astrology, there's science, there's all sorts of stuff in the Bible, right? You just have to know how to read it. One thing that's important to understand is, I think throughout the Bible, I don't know how many times they say it, but they keep saying that this is allegory. So every time someone says it's literal, you could just, I just say, but it says in the book, but like if it's literal, they literally said it's allegory. So, what are you going to do with that? Anyway, back to the topic. All right. So, of course, the beast will also seek to do the same. Satan's desire is to be like God. He can only be a cheap imitation. This is exactly what the Antichrist and his kingdom is, a false Christ with a false kingdom. I am come in my Father's name, and ye receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him ye will receive. John 5:32. The Jews rejected Jesus, but will accept the Antichrist. He will come in his own name. Trump's name is everything to him. He comes in his own name. Darky is doing his thing, ain't he? Oh, man. If you are a Trump supporter like I was and see him as a force for good and can't understand why the Antichrist would want to do so many things that we agree with, I highly recommend this. He says more people cannot fathom that the deep state and Trump rivalry is nothing more than a Hegelian dialectic. There is the Great Reset, NWO, darkness, and the Great Awakening, NWO, false light. This is the Masonic darkness to light. Trump is the false savior. And this here sentence, I mean, this right here, I mean, I can't say that he's wrong, right? Without injecting any religion or anything else into it, just reading that, hey, he could be onto something, right? He says, this thread could go on quite literally ages. I highly recommend reading all of my work thus far from the beginning if you really want the whole picture and all the evidence. I pray that this reaches the people who need to hear this. Thanks for reading. God bless you all. All right, Donnie. Good thread. It's a great thread. Very interesting. You know, I could be wrong about the whole Jesus thing, but I just don't think I am. But you could present me evidence and I would change my mind. On the other hand, a lot of Christians, I don't find seek first to understand, then to be understood. So you have to kind of let your guard down and be willing to be influenced by other people in order to influence them if you're right or if you're wrong, or if that's your thing, being right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know my point in all that, but I do know that it is a very interesting thread. Very interesting to look at, and I would love to hear some Christians' take on it. You know, what you guys think, especially Christians that are familiar with Hegelian dialectic. You know, let me know what's cracking. It's all very questionable, right? All right. Until next time, don't forget, small minds talk about people, average minds talk about events, and great minds talk about ideas. Yeah, that seems to be it for this thread. I mean, I could read some of the replies and stuff. It's interesting. I remember the Project Bluebeam narrative from high school. It's a mainstream concept at this point. I believe this is by design. It's possible, right? I think it's very telling that the Project Bluebeam narrative is almost mainstream in truther circles, which makes me believe that this is by design so people will not be prepared for Christ's return. They will see it and not repent, as it is written. I don't know. I don't know. I ain't into calling who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. I'm just here to let you know what's out there. And, you know, y'all tell me, what do you think? This is crazy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.